Hey everybody, here we are back on the central Whitetail trail hiking parking lot. You know, the little trailhead for the Whitetail Trail up on Chestnut Ridge. Last time we went this way to the right, and we followed that all the way to Redstone Creek. I broke that up into two different videos. Today we're going to go the other direction. We're going to try to go all the way to the long run trail loop in Quebec Run, and then we'll just turn around and come back. Now that's a few miles, so it'll be a nice little hike today. There we go. We got the Whitetail Trail there. You can see this is the central parking lot. Warning for rock climbers, no rock climbing allowed. Look at that, that shoe is still here from, it's been about a month since I filmed the last one. I wanted to wait a while so that we could get in here and maybe see some of these blooming laurel, mountain laurels. Wow, look at that. I think that's a big old burdock. Look at the size of those leaves, my goodness. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's burdock. More over there, and the ferns are really taking off really nicely. So we're just gonna go ahead and leave the Jeep parked here at the lot. We're gonna go take the trail here. It looks a little bit like it's overgrown, so I'll have to make sure that I keep an eye out for ticks afterwards. And wow, look at the rattlesnake ferns are all nice and bloomed. They're all nice and big now. Last month when I was here, they were just barely coming out of the ground. We got some colt's foot down here. It was flowering last time, and now the leaves have come up. And it looks like we got some milkweed going on here, so we hopefully we'll get some monarch butterflies. Everything else is growing up, so the tea-berry or mountain laurel, it's probably going to be harder to see. Oh, look at this. Here's another one of those interesting plants that I saw up at Quebec Run with the 4 leaves. I still don't know what this plant is, though. It's very interesting. It's very symmetrical. Oh, okay. I'm just going to go back to the Jeep and get my little handheld GPS for the trail and the point and shoot camera. Because, at the end of this video, you'll see, like, I've decided to include in my videos at the end a nice little slideshow picture show, so that you can go, if you don't want to follow me along the whole path, the whole trail, then you can just come back and go to the end of the video and look at the highlights. So I'm gonna put these in my pocket, and then we're gonna head on down the trail. So that's it for now. I'll turn her back on when we get down the trail a bit. Hopefully we'll see some mountain laurel. Okay, people, haven't gotten too far yet. I just wanted to point out we got a nice little, looks like a cucumber tree, cucumber magnolia. They're not too common. I mean, they're not rare, but it's interesting that there's one of these right off at the parking lot. You can see where they're, and yeah, it's not too often I get to see these. I only know of where one other one is growing kind of wild out in the woods. There's a really nice showcase example of one up at Ohio Pile by the Falls Lookout. But also, since I was here, I wanted to, I don't want to step on too much of this wintergreen, but I wanted to bring out the first of the mountain laurels. Oh, get over these little humps here. Yeah, we got some nice little bit of a mountain laurel bloom in here. Look at that. This is just the very first one I've come across, but it looks really nice. Yeah, I'm hoping we'll see quite a bit of it blooming at further along. Down here we've got a lot of, I think this is cat's ear. Could be another. There's so many freaking different kinds of yellow flowers in Pennsylvania. I'm slowly but surely getting to learn them all. Nice big beautiful red oak looks like here. Yeah, we've got little patches. I can see some more mountain laurel blooming over there, and here's a nice big patch of it up here that's blooming. Just stopping to show you this. Now, oh, look at some of these are open real nice already. There we go. We got it just at the beginning, because it's June 1st today. So usually it's around June when the mountain laurel starts opening. All the ferns are still still springing up. They just about halfway through. They'll get about twice that big. Okay, we're gonna head on back down the trail. Just thought we'd get a look at that first mountain laurel. Alrighty, just like I said, walking along the trail. It's a beautiful fern-covered forest floor. A lot of this, got a lot of this beautiful mountain laurel blooming here. Just a little pat. The other way has a lot more mountain laurel spread throughout. This one's a little more sparse, but it's just as pretty. And these are a little paler. Mostly I like the ones that are darker pink, but these are just very nice. So yeah, it's definitely nice because you could see quite a distance. And of course we got our old friends the tea berries here. I've been munching on these. Give you that nice yummy little wintergreen flavor. Mild but delicious. And these are from last year, so all right. Yeah, we're a bit away from the road, so I'm hoping to see some wildlife, some deer or some turkey, or, you know, because usually I don't see very much. I guess they hear you coming and they just take off, or the deer oftentimes will just freeze, and if you're not paying attention, you can just walk right past them. But yeah, very, very nice woodlands up here on Chestnut Ridge. Nice mix. We got maples. We got mostly red oak. Maple. Have that cucumber tree. Looks like there's a couple of hickories up here, but I'm not sure yet. These look dead, so. Notice that there's some witch hazel up here. And of course some birch. I'm thinking these are probably sweet birch, even though the bark is not as dark as I would typically think. But yeah, it's just nice to be out here. It's a beautiful day. It's in the low 70s. Some of these ferns are getting really big. I can see a big patch of ferns up there on the hill. I'm still learning to distinguish between the different species. Anyways, let's head back on down the trail. And here we are. We got the bigger ferns here. Still got a little bit of growth, I think, left in them. Here we got the smaller ones. They're either, I'm not sure if they're bracken ferns or Christmas tree ferns, but I like these big ones. I think they're like some kind of one of the sword ferns. But yeah, you can see they're all huge down in here. And I've been hearing a raven out here. So I know he lives in this area because last time I was here I heard them. There's some cinnamon ferns over here growing. Look at these. Now these I know because of these stalks. Yeah, these are cinnamon ferns that have these spore pod thingies growing up. Like I said, there are so many different kinds of ferns. It's kind of hard telling what each one is unless you're practically a botanist, you know. Oh, yeah, this is just gorgeous. Yeah, I'm thinking these are sweet birches because the bark looks like it's getting darker. Nice big rocks here. Everything's all moss covered. This is a good time of year too because it's still fairly moist. It's still fairly wet up here. I mean, it usually gets pretty darn dry up here on the top of the ridge in the summer. So it's kind of nice that here, like I said, it's June 1st, so still got some moisture up here. Still got everything sprouting and springing up. It's a very peaceful little walk up here. Yeah, and not too far from here is Laurel Caverns, so we're really not that far down the trail. Somebody made a campsite right here, which of course is perfectly legal since you can pretty much camp anywhere within the state forest. So yeah, somebody made a nice little campsite here. Probably put their tent down. This is just right off the trail. Of course, you're supposed to build your campsites preferably away from side of the trail. Still, this is a nice little spot. Yep. Oh, what kind of tree is this? I think we got a black gum tree here. Nice little tupelo. Yeah, pretty sure that's what this is. Almost positive this is a black gum tree. And the one next to it is an oak. Another oak. A lot of big, beautiful oaks up here. All right, folks. So we just crossed over Skyline Boulevard, which I knew was going to happen. It's right up there, and looks like this is a pipeline corridor. Of course, we're not going to be on it. Just thought I'd, kind of opens up the forest a little bit. Gives you different grasses growing here. Some more milkweed there. But thank God, like I said, thank goodness for these red trailblazers there. Definitely want to keep an eye out for them on trails like this. I mean, I suppose that at least a few people per week probably come in here. And this is also what I expected. We're starting to head down the hill a little bit, and we're going to be going up and down. So far, hasn't been very strenuous, but I am starting to feel the humidity effects. So, but still, the forest is actually quite cool here. Beautiful sweet birch. I love all these examples. Oh, cherry. Don't see too many cherries up here on the top of the ridge. Wow, we got some rhododendron down there. That's definitely rhododendron, because mountain laurel doesn't get that big and thick. Probably some water around here, though I can't hear any. Oh, a neat old partially hollow log. Old tree stump from years ago that fell. Yeah, this is nice. It's funny, the humidity's like, I think, right around 50% or less, but it's still, I'm still feeling it, so maybe it's a little higher up here on the ridge. All right. Get around this tree. Keep expecting to see bears up here, just because it looks like the kind of country that has bears. All right, people, let's get on down the trail a bit more. Whew, yeah, definitely feeling the effects of the humidity now. Thankfully, like I said, it is pretty cool up here, and we're getting into some deeper, darker forest. The ridge drops off suddenly over here on the east side. Also came across this nice little stuff, some greenbrier, one of my favorite little trailside snacks. Very nutritious, tasty. Kind of like a little sour bit of asparagus, but yeah, I thought since I think this is witch hazel, but I'm not quite sure. Still trying to learn some of this stuff. But yeah, we got some really nice darker forest areas around here. Definitely enjoying it. Yeah, getting a little thicker. Like I said, nice that they mark the trails well. I love all these big old oaks up here. I have seen a couple of white oaks, but mostly it's the red oaks dominating, and haven't quite noticed any chestnut oaks, though you might think that there'd be some up here. As I said, a couple of cherries. Definitely a nice little mix. Ooh. Boy, that greenbrier is good. Nice and tender. Yeah, who needs to bring along snacks? The trail provides plenty. You know, I gotta say, on this eastern side of the ridge, for some reason, I keep getting whiffs of some definitely interesting smells that I can't quite place. Something kind of a sweet but nutty. I'm not sure what this scent is that I keep picking up, but it's definitely intriguing because it's very pleasant. Actually, it's kind of making me feel a little high, you know, a little head in the clouds kind of feeling. Or maybe that's just a strain from the hike, but yeah, it's definitely interesting. It's a weird, unusual smell that I just can't quite place. But meanwhile, I'm getting a view of some really nice forest footage here. Look at this. This is nice habitat. Definitely. Ooh, it's getting a little steep though. Gotta say. A lot of these burrs up here, these fungal burrs. Interesting. Look at all that stuff growing. We got actual mushrooms growing out of it. That's interesting. Huh. Wow, look at that. That's like straight up and down stuff. Holy smokes. Boy, that's a steep drop off. Yeah, definitely a lot of underbrush here that I wouldn't normally expect. But I'm loving all the rocks, loving all the trees, loving all the ferns. Definitely always glad when I actually manage to make it out here and do these hikes. Haven't been doing nearly as many as I did in my younger days. Yeah, but helps keep me in shape, so. And I have been eating healthier. Oh, look, we got a lot more of these little, I'm thinking these are those sweet birch. Although they don't quite look, yeah, they're probably, let's go ahead and pluck a little and see if they got that wintergreen. Oh yeah, they definitely got the wintergreen scent, so those are sweet birch. I think yellow birch have that same scent as well. Yeah, like I said, definitely loving this hike. Not looking forward to going back up this little trail. But looky here, see what I'm saying? Now that looks like it could be the trail there, but you can see, like I said, watching the red blazes, and there's one over there, so it goes off this way, not down there. So I'm glad I'm paying attention, even though I got this woozy head in the clouds feeling. It's pleasant. There it goes again. See, there's that, just got a big whiff of that smell. Almost has like a, like I said, a nutty, sweet, but kind of like a popcorn kind of smell. I don't know what it is. It's going to drive me crazy till I figure it out. Definitely smells plant-based. It's not like some animal musk or something. I generally do tend to have a stronger sense of smell than the average person, from what I've been told. Probably because of my deaf ear. They say when one sense diminishes, the others tend to increase. Yeah, that definitely has like a popcorny kind of smell. Not buttered popcorn, but just regular popcorn. But still, there's a sweet note to it. Could be some kind of amber from some sort of tree or something. Oozing. Oh, there's a different smell altogether. That's more like an insect stench. Like those millipedes from a hike a while ago. Boy, let me tell you, them millipedes can be stanky. All right, looks like we're crossing that gas line corridor again. Down there I can see a gravel road. Not sure what road that is, but I can look it up on the map later. Plus I can see another one right in front of us here, which I don't think is the same road, but it could be. They probably meet up down there, because this one looks like it goes off to my left. Whew. And up here, I know it's the gas line because of that white, there's a white post up there. And we got a lot of nice daisy fleabane all in here. It's kind of nice. These corridors actually allow a lot of the different plants to sprout up that wouldn't be in the open or in the undergrowth of the forest. Now this looks like that looks like a different kind of milkweed. It's either, could be swamp milkweed or it could be dogbane. They're kind of cousins, I think, dogbane and milkweed. Dogbane is not edible. I've never tried the milkweed pods. Look at, I love those rock structures up there. It's real pretty. Plus all these oaks, cherries. Love it, maples. A few black gum trees here and there. Ooh, wow. I see a mountain ridge way over there at the top of the... It's definitely a different view, a different perspective. Got a little wood sorrel flower there. See if we can, it probably won't focus on that, but yeah, nice little wood. I think we got some, I think this is called sweet fern. I could be wrong, but yeah, it's another little one I see on this trail or on my hikes a lot. Ooh, some kind of grass. Not river oats, that's for sure, but it looks kind of similar. Yep, definitely back on the trail again. Alright, heading down into a little gorge. I thought I'd take a quick little shot of these big, beautiful patch of little bluets. Little Quaker ladies here. Look at those, aren't they just pretty? There's a whole bunch of them all in here. Just tons of them along the trail right here. Just all mixed in here with this grass. Whatever kind of grass this is. These are smaller than the ones I usually run across. But yeah, they're all lining the trail here. This is on the other side of that road that I said was that I just mentioned. And then we got a little baby, nice little mountain laurel. Still tons of ferns. Got a bug buzzing around my ear. Wow, this is steep. The trail makes it feel not quite as steep, but yeah, it's a pretty nice little drop. From here to as far as I can see, I'd say that's about a 30 to 40 foot drop in elevation in the trail. Not too much, but still, that's only as far as I can see, which is only about 150 yards, so all right, I might as well get there. Here's a especially nice view of the mountain laurel. A lot of pink in there, although I'm sure it doesn't come out nearly as nice to the camera as it seldom does, but it's really in full bloom up here. So this is pretty cool stuff. Nice, big, thick part of it. I just surprised there's so much of it here since the canopy is really full. Oh, we got a sassafras tree here. Yeah, another nice little black tupelo. Black gum, black tupelo. Ooh, yeah, this trail's definitely starting to get me now. Ooh, definitely taking more little breaks and everything, but this is the kind of trails that I like, that are a little rougher, a little more advanced. I mean, it's still, I wouldn't call this a difficult trail. It's probably more in the moderate range. But I think the worst part is going to be heading back, because that coming down that steep area means I have to go back up it on the way back. So I think we're about 3/4 of the way to the Quebec Run area. So we're getting there. We're closing in on it. Really excited I got to see that cucumber magnolia tree. Like I said, don't see too many of them Just wish there was more wildlife. Heck, I'd even settle for a rattlesnake right about now. Open patches like this, I wouldn't be surprised if I did see a few. They're definitely up here. Timber rattlers. Now there's only 3 venomous snakes in Pennsylvania, if I'm correct. I believe I've read that. There is the timber rattler, the copperhead, and the masaga, which is like a pygmy rattlesnake. Ooh, that's a pretty rock. Look at that. That's just interesting the way it jets out. Whew. Yeah, I'm gonna have to take another break. I'm kind of sweating a little bit, but I'm loving the trail, and that smell is real dominant now. Like I said, it's almost like I'm inside one of those popcorn carts. I mean, it's enjoyable. I like the smell. It's just driving me crazy trying to figure out what it is. Definitely interesting. Yeah, thought I'd just take my little break right here on this nice big flat rock here. Got some foliose lichen growing on it. That's the leafy-like structure, as opposed to this crustose or crustose. The other one is fruticose, which is the one that hangs from the trees. Yeah, like I said, wanted to take my little break here among the mountain laurels and the leafy lichen. Ooh, nice little spot. Let's move that. Trail's right there. It's funny, I'm hearing both crow calls and raven calls here. Hey people, guess what? I just checked my GPS and it says that we're not that far from, we're just right off the trail from Skyline Boulevard, which is over this way, and the Laurel Caverns Road, which means I'm not nearly as close as I thought I would be. I'll probably have to make a separate video because that means I'm like not even about halfway. Now this is across the street from the Caverns Drive, and I don't know what this is. They're building something here. I'm thinking it's part of the state park. Let's get up this little ridge. There's a truck over here. I don't want to disturb anybody, but I think they're building some kind of attraction. Yeah. I think maybe I'll go talk to these folks, see what this is all about. Some kind of building that they're creating. So I'm not going to get this on film. I don't think they'd appreciate being filmed, but it definitely looks like some sort of attraction as part of the state park. So I'm going to go talk to them and see what it is, and then I'll let y'all know. Well, y'all, I went up and I talked to those folks. There's about half a dozen of them there, and they informed me that that building, can't see it through there, but I can see a little bit of it. It's right off the trail, but it's private property. They're doing some kind of thing. It's probably going to be some sort of business thing, you know, some sort of attraction since it's close to the park. But the people that were there that I talked to, oh, there's some foxgloves up there. Interesting. But the people I talked to, they were from the Laurel Caverns Conservancy. Conservancy, I think that's the word. Yeah, so they I don't know, they're involved, of course, with the preservation of the caverns and everything like that. So clearly whatever this private project is they're working on, which they were fairly tight-lipped about, and they weren't forthcoming or, you know, eager to tell me what was going on. They just said it was private. But whatever it is, they're in affiliation, I think, with the Conservancy. So yeah, they've got some foxgloves, look like, growing up there. Or maybe they're, what, gladiolas, I think, are kind of like that, like foxgloves. Anyways, that means, like I said, if we're at this point, then this is about, right now we're about halfway there. Oh, see, here's some down here. Those foxgloves. Yeah, I'm pretty sure these are foxgloves. Poisonous. Definitely don't want to eat those. So here we are over here. I noticed that this is one of the few tulip poplars up here. Boy, this is a big, nice big old one. Notice how it's got this line going straight up it. Now I noticed that the older tulip poplars tend to go kind of bald at the base down here. I don't know, maybe that's just a normal thing, but yeah, they tend to lose their bark and get these balding patterns. But here, you can see how big this tree is. Whoa, this is steep. You can see how big that tree is with me there. Pretty good size. It's one of the bigger ones right here in this area. In fact, I think it's the biggest one that I see within sight. There's another big old oak over there, but not as big as this guy. And there's one over there, looks like a cherry. It's comparable, but yeah, that's definitely the biggest one. In fact, I think I just read an article or maybe it was a YouTube video about how tulip poplars are about the biggest East Coast trees, or the tallest ones. So in the article there was something too about why the East Coast trees don't get as big as like the trees on the West Coast, because you know those big sequoias and redwoods, they get over 300 feet tall. I mean, they're huge, and the biggest ones around here are maybe around 200. I think they top out at 180 to 200 feet tall, but none of these are that tall. None of these are, yeah, they're not even, I don't even think they're close. Even though this one's really big and this tulip poplar is really big and tall, it's still, and I'm terrible at judging heights, but I would have to say that's about 4 stories high, maybe 5. So that would be, what, 10 foot per story, 8 to 10 feet per story. So that would be like 50, I don't know, could be like 60, 70 feet. Like I said, I'm terrible at guessing heights for some reason, but all right, we're going to continue on, folks. Don't know how well you guys got to see that, but nice little spider on his web. Thought it was kind of cool. So what I've decided, I'm gonna get that selfie stick here. All right, what I've decided is that since this is only to the Laurel Caverns Road, which, like I said, I believe is about half the distance that I thought I would be traveling today. I think, and I've already got quite a few minutes racked up on this video. I don't want it to be too long. I think we're going to break this trail up into this section into 2 different sections, 2 different videos. So just like the last one. I'm not going to hike it today though, because I am actually starting to feel it a little bit and got to get all the way back. And that was a good, I don't know, maybe 2 miles. I'm not sure. I'd have to look at the GPS and see. I don't know how well you can see that little screen, but yeah, it says we're right at the Caverns Park Road. So we're going to head on back now from here. I'm going to turn this GPS off since I'm not going any farther. But yeah, that little handheld thing, it definitely helps me out. It gives me a better idea of where I'm at, because you could definitely lose your bearings up here. I mean, as you can see, it's deep, dark, thick woods. Now I could go up to the road and just walk the road back, but I don't want to. I want to avoid the cars. Let's stay in here in the trail. So we're just going to go ahead and head back this way. Like I said, we'll get the other 2 sections of the Whitetail Trail in different videos. So from here, that's going to be it for today. Appreciate it if y'all coming along and checking out this section of the trail with me. Hopefully it won't be too long before I get the next one done. Most of the work at the house is done. You know, all that spring stuff. You got all that spring cleanup and like I said, prepping my garden. But hopefully I'll get out hiking more. So God bless everyone. Take care. Hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, as always, feel free to like or subscribe, leave a comment, any of that junk. I'm not too concerned about it. I don't ever expect I'm going to be too popular, because My videos are lucky if they get like 30 views, so but that's kind of how I started it, for just for my friends and family, because everyone lives farther away from me. So all right guys, take care. Pyraxis out.